Hello, everyone. This is Tasha, and you're having conversations with Miss Reed. Tonight, we're on P Valley Season 2, Episode 8, Death Drop. So we start out with Mercedes. She's at the paint. She's on the pole. She practicing a whole new routine, y'all. She getting busy trying to do what she can do. But she is having a hard time because her arm is still bothering her. That shoulder is still bothering her. And she getting frustrated with herself. She sit down on the stage and she start to crying and stuff. Then you hear Uncle Clifford come in and say, honey, no. Ain't no crying in the paint. Now, that's the first time I done seen that pole conquer you instead the other way around. And then Mercedes said, well, maybe I ain't meant to fly no more. And then Uncle Clifford said, niggas come to see you fall, not fly. So that's what I'm saying. Like, when they do that drop, that's what people be getting hyped up for. And then they sit and talk, and Uncle Clifford said that, what she said? Maybe the injury ain't in the shoulder, it's in her head. And Mercedes come back and said, maybe the paint problem ain't in your head, it's in your hands. And they both need to try. So they sit there and they talk, and they in agreement that they both need to give what their passion and their dream is a try and not give up on it, regardless of if things happening right away or not. So then after they in there, and then we get the intro and stuff, and then we flip on over to Uncle Clifford, and he's doing a shape up on little murder hair, and it looked good to me. And she got Murder sitting in the chair holding the phone, so with the hospital, because she's trying to check in on her grandmother. So they go back and forth and stuff while they waiting, talking smack to each other. And they just kept saying, like, why you was gone or whatever, you being cute for somebody, was you being protecting? And he asking him, like, why, I don't know, was you being protective too? So they both going back and forth. Instead of just saying, was you with somebody else and did y'all use protection? No, they just rather go back and forth talking crap. So then the person finally interrupts and get on the phone like, hello. And Uncle Clifford asks about his grandmother and stuff. And the nurse on the other end, she being rude and stuff, like, ain't nothing changed about your grandmother. That's good news, right? And she was like, ain't nothing changed from the last 45 minutes ago that you called. I was like, that is so rude, because, during the pandemic, we already know that people was going through so much. I work for a company that owns nursing homes. So we do know that there was plenty of times where people was actually at the nursing home and their family members were like, be outside the windows, just to show them that they still are there. Because when COVID hit, everybody couldn't be together anymore. So y'all, main back, y'all. So we flip on over there. We see Mercedes jogging down the street with her pit bull, Black and Mild. And then she see like a group of people and stuff. And she was like, what's going on over here? So she scooted on down there. And then the guys sort of walk away. And you see Maine, fine, built ass, sitting on a motorcycle and everything. And then the dog, runs from her, run to Maine. And so that's when they stand there talking and everything. And then she was happy to see him, that he's out, but he's still on a ankle monitor. But then she also let him know that she did try to call him a few times, whatever. And then he was like, but he looked uncomfortable when he answered it. And he was like, you can't really talk while you in there. And it seemed like he just, I don't know, maybe it's uncomfortable because the guys are around or whatever, but I don't understand. I mean, Mercedes is a fine woman. Obviously, they both digging each other. So he's saying, like, his crew and stuff trying to put together, like, a little get-together and everything, a welcome home party or whatever. And he invited her to come as his date. And so she said, let me move some things around. He was like, I like the way you move things around. So she jog on and off and everything. Then we flip on over to Autumn, and she's sitting at the cafe, the little diner that everybody seems to go to. And then that's when Keyshawn sitting next to her and stuff, and she brings her birth certificate, and I'm assuming for her and all the kids, because she was like, you need to hurry up and get this back to me before Derek realizes missing. So I'm assuming it's all of their birth certificates, because Autumn is going to work on trying to get her passport or maybe some other kind of identification so she can get out of there. And Lord, her face, y'all, still looking a hot mess, because when she took the mask off, you could see a bruise down by her jaw. I'm like, okay, I don't understand. And I know it's easier said than done, you know, for the people on the outside to say you need to leave, but I don't understand how much ass whooping can a person take before they snap and do something to somebody else. And these are all the signs that you need to get away. So I'm not sure why she's so hesitant. I mean, maybe she just feel like she owe him something. I don't know. Because we realized, well, on the episode, her episode, we saw that I guess the family disowned him when he started messing with her and had children. So I'm thinking that's the reason why she's still sticking around. But anyways, while she's there, she told her to look up, prior to that, she had told her to look up Haley Colton, and Mississippi said she did, and it said that she drowned in a Texas flood, and she like, exactly, but yet, here she's sitting here at this cafe in a little town called Chucalissa, drinking some coffee, sorry y'all, and then, we see Mississippi, damn, Keyshawn walk out, and then you see on the news people walking in there, and then because Andre is trying to run to be mayor, and then it came out that his father wasn't dead, but his father was on death row for murder. So they're trying to say that Andre is a liar because he had said that his mom was a recovering addict, or she died as a drug addict, and then his father had died as well. So then we flip on over, and I'm like, that's real petty for anybody to even be saying, oh, he's a big liar, we don't want to vote for him. I mean, hey, to me, I'll be looking at it like, you on death row, nigga, you is dead to me. But anyways, we flip on over to Andre and Corbett, who is also watching the news and stuff, and then he tell the people to leave out, but I guess they just was taking forever, and then he started yelling at them people and telling them to get the fuck out, and I'm sitting here like, nigga, you just said to get out, give him a chance to get out. So of course he mad that Andre had held this information and stuff, and I don't understand, but I mean, I guess his point is, you know, when people don't want nothing in your background or in your closet that they don't know about, so this way is not giving them the opportunity to like kill that noise or try to, you know, have a comeback if this thing out, or at least be the one that put the stuff out before other people can, so this way nobody can't feel like they have anything on you. And so while they going back and forth arguing and stuff, they flip on over. Now they talking about Patrice Woodbine. I started cracking up, and it said up there prostitution and fighting, saying like, this is the type of person y'all want being our mayor and stuff. And then the news person asked Patrice and what she had to say about the allegations and stuff that people were saying about her being a prostitute and doing all the fighting and everything. And she said, I done told everyone I was a hoe. I laughed when she said that shit. She said, I sucked a lot of dick in my day. I done fucked tricks and bitch slapped many motherfuckers. And God knows I did my share of check fraud shit. That shit was yesterday, and today is today. And I said, I know. That's right. I'm going to tell y'all, I did not like Patrice Woodbine on season 1, but I'm liking me some Patrice Woodbine. That woman funny as hell. So, they sitting up there, and Andre, you know, you could tell that he a little frustrated about this situation, and you could see Haley try to call him, but he had declined her call. So, okay, now we're going to go on back and flip on over to Keyshawn, who's doing dishes and stuff, and then we see Derek come in with a bag. So he done bought her some new shoes and stuff, I guess trying to give her something to make her forget about that ass whipping she probably got the other night. And then she let him know like they too small. And good Lord, he started punching himself upside the head, acting like a fool and stuff, getting mad, talking about, I can't do nothing right, nothing. And I'm like, well, you know what you can do is stop hitting her. What you can do is stop yanking up our kids where his arm is being dislocated. That's what the fuck you can do. You can go get you some therapy. That's what he really can do. And I was like, I don't know what, in my head, I would have to kill this dude. I don't know what to say. But anywho, he's sitting up there and he's trying to make all these promises. I won't do it again. What can I do so that you won't leave me? And, you know, say something. Tell me what it is. And that's when she, you know, first he started, I was like, do you want me to fix up the room downstairs so you can dance for your OnlyFans? And she was like, no, I don't want to do that no more. Then he said, well, you want to go back on tour? You can go back on tour. And she was like, no, I don't want to go on no tour. And then he said, you want to work at the Pank? And then she was like, yeah. And he looking like, I don't know about that place. Cause you know, last time he said that's what all the the gutter niggers be at. So he don't want her there. But see, this was all part of her plan. Cause as long as he feel like he's contributing and he has something to say about it, and he the one that offered for her to go there, then it won't be a problem. Because it's like, you the one that said it. So I'm like, Mississippi, why do you have to go through all this just to get on? And clearly that's what she did, because when he lay into her, she started smiling and stuff. So whatever. So then we flip on over to Corbin. He in there yelling at his brother and stuff. And, you know, for putting that information out and about Patrice and about Andre. Oh, let me see what he said. And he was like, oh, you know, that's pretty low for somebody like that. He said, maybe we should air out some of daddy dirty laundry. And then hell, Wayne came back and said, you are the dirty secret half black bastard. I'm like, God damn. The shit these people be saying out here to each other. But them boys. And then he trying to make it seem like, be grateful that, you know, you are a brother or whatever, you and his family. Stop sitting up here being mad about, I guess, me locking you up somewhere, and then hell, having the other brother Wyatt lock him in the damn basement. I'm like, okay, that's not fun. I mean, I know boys will be boys and kids gonna play and stuff, but that don't seem like it would have been fun for me either. So then we flip on over to a hair salon. We see the lady that I finally found out her name was Georgie. So we see Georgie in there with the stylist getting her hair done and stuff. And, you know, she talking about being happy that she divorced. And so Autumn walks in. And so the stylist going to say, oh, honey, you in the wrong place. Shanae's beauty shop is a bit further down the strip. And I'm sitting here like, first off, I wouldn't even be I already seen what this is. I wouldn't be coming in here to get my hair done by you, period. But her and Georgie, Autumn go back and forth with Georgie, and they get to talking and everything. And, you know, Georgie trying to let her know, like, are you ready to take my offer? Because she offered her $5 million to buy the paint. And see, Autumn like, no, she holding out for $10 million. And that's when Georgie dismisses the stylist and the other girl that washed hair out of their own shop now, y'all. She dismisses them so she can have a conversation with Autumn. And, you know, she trying to let her know, like, yeah, $5 million is all I'm going. The highest I'm going, and that's it. And so Autumn started walking out because she was like, no, I want $10 million. If you want the paint, I want $10 million. And so the woman tried to say, you don't need to keep walking because this might not be the offer much longer. And Autumn just like, whatever, bitch, pay me my stacks. So then we get back over to the paint. And wait a second, y'all. And they're all over there trying to make sure. Okay, I messed up there, y'all. So prior, I had to get myself back focused. So after Autumn leaves out of the salon, we get on over to the funeral home, and Murdah had brought something for Big Teak to be dressed in, and Wody is in there and stuff, and they talking, and and then they talking about, you know, Rome and the whole situation, and Murdah letting them know you can't be the one to be ending somebody's life and stuff. And then Wody, like, I mean, somebody like Rome was asking for it. I mean, he was the one trying to be a rapist. He tried to rape Keyshawn, and then he had a video recording of Lil Murdah, and all he said is the recording. So I don't know if I missed it, if the other person was either. Well, no, because when we find out, when he, you know, Wody is talking to him, I'm assuming maybe it was Big Teak, because he was like, you know, there's a video recording out of you, you know, and Lil Murdah let him know, like, ain't nobody gonna do nothing to you, not on my watch. Look out. And then, you know, Lil Murdah tried to let him know, I mean, I was 15 years old. I had to do whatever the hell I had to do, and I break my heart so that he can put food on the table, so that he can help his mom. And I'm like, this is so unfortunate, but this is exactly what some people have to do. And I break my heart, even thinking about him being a 15-year-old out here trying to survive and have to sell his body to a man or a woman just to be able to eat. And that's heartbreaking. But, you know, it happens. So now we flip on over back to the paint, and that's when, you know, they're trying to get everything together and make sure everything is ready for the reopening of the paint. And Big L try to let them know, like, I mean, we only got 50%. We can only operate at 50% because everything, I guess, is not at code, or, because remember, they got cited by the health inspector. And so they can't bring a whole bunch of people in, of course, if you're not fully fixed. So and then you see Uncle Clifford look up, because you can see Diamond up there with Big Bone, and they kissing and stuff. And Uncle Clifford said he didn't even know Diamond could smile. And then Diamond said, yeah, I heard that, Uncle Clifford. And then that's when he was letting everybody know, like, shoot, my bottom bitch is back, talking about Mercedes. And then they ain't worried about it, because they gonna make money. I mean, even if it is gonna be at 50% capacity, they gonna be able to make money because Mercedes is back and she the bottom bitch. And then that's when what's her name, Autumn, try to come in, and she's like, oh yeah, let's see your new workout, Mercedes. And so they made Big Bone put something on, and then Roulette and Whisper is watching, and Mercedes, I mean, she working and she trying, but I mean, I don't know at this point, is she just feeling nervous because everybody here watching her and trying to put her on the spot right then and there, because she's not really doing a good job like she normally would be doing. And so then Autumn is clearly there seeing it, and so now Uncle Clifford made him stop because she kept messing up or whatever. And so Autumn is like, well, no, we can't have her. She not ready. We can't have her. We need to have another headliner. And then they like, no, Roulette and Whisper is not going to be the headliner. And that's when Autumn is like, no, not Russian Roulette, not Whisper or Roulette. And then here come Keyshawn walking in. And I said, uh-oh. So, what else happened right there? And yeah, Keyshawn walked in, and you could see Diamond's face, and he looked pissed. Everybody looking angry. And you could see Roulette telling Whisper it's about to get good, because now they back. So then they put us back over in the dressing room, and that's when Whisper and Roulette, they all in love with Keyshawn, and they telling her, girl, we wearing your lashes. And she was like, you can hear the others arguing, everybody in the back arguing, and she asks, like, does this happen a lot? And they're like, yeah, it does. But they just also excited to see Keyshawn. Then, okay, you see Uncle Clifford come storming out. He got a box on his arm and everything. And he yelling, I'll take the motherfucking jukebox, but I can't fit it in my Birkin. And then she goes storm out into her car. And she tried to attempt to call the hospital again to check on her grandmother, but gets so damn frustrated, he wind up hanging up. And then she just breaks down in the car and everything. And she could see her mom in the backseat with, she's in the rearview mirror, and they talking and stuff, and mom is telling her, like, pretty much it's okay to cry, but she also said, what's mom number one rule? Bitches don't just cry, they get even. And I'm like, okay, I feel like it. We working up to this. I think we got 2 more episodes, maybe 2 or 3, and then I think something big is gonna happen, just like on season 1 when they had the big party, and then Montavious got shot and killed in the room. So this is supposed to be main coming home party. It's a big ass party that's getting ready to happen, and you could feel like it's working up. We building up to something, y'all, and I'm scared. I don't want none of our main people to get killed off, please. So, okay, y'all, now we flip on over to the funeral for Big Teak. And, I mean, he looks good. I just always feel like, I don't know if I would ever want to play a person that has to be in a casket. I feel like that's bad luck. But, hey, this is TV. So, anyway, Little Murder looking all good, dressed in all his black. And you could see people was just putting chains on his chest and stuff. And I think that was a joint Little Murder put in his hand. And he talked to him a little bit. He whispered to him and stuff. It's like, I wrote a little extra for you. And I'm assuming like the songs and stuff that he was writing, he did that. So as we can see them all carrying the red casket and putting it inside the hearse. And then this is when, this is really touching to me too, when Lil Murder leans up on the casket while it's in the hearse for a minute. And this just reminds me of, I know a lot of us already experienced death, but this really reminds me of when my dad passed away, and how at that point I just felt like, how am I supposed to live now? Because the person that I really depended on was gone. So, okay, now while we there at the funeral, some guys call Lil Murder over and stuff and show him a video of Pico out here talking mad junk about Big Teak, knowing he ain't the one that killed him, claiming that he was the one that killed him. We all know that Big Teak shot himself in the head, so ain't nobody killed him. But he all on Instagram or whatever social media telling everybody that he the one that took out Big Teak and everything, just talking mad disrespectful. And they all in the video holding guns and everything. So I'm just like, y'all just ain't gonna be able to get things right. But forgot to mention that Scarface song, what it was called, Never Seen a Man Cry. That song, as soon as I heard it playing, I was like, oh God, that song always be making me feel bad or whatever. So we back at the Pink, and you can see Whistler and Roulette sitting there watching Mercedes and Mississippi practice, I guess, a routine and everything. And then Roulette trying to convince Whisper to hook up with that dude Terrence, who was a dude that she topped off when it was in the Paradise Room. So he had already mentioned that he wanted to see Whisper. He said he wanted to put his face in the place with her. So I'm like, okay. And then while they watching it, Mercedes fall down, child. She fall off the pole. She ain't as good as she was because of that shoulder. And so then Whisper said, Lord, watching this, it's like my grandma trying to set up her Wi-Fi. I started cracking up. Then she put out her little crystal, y'all, and Roulette snatched it from her. And I guess that's just like to convince her that they need to go and let Terrence, I guess, do what he gonna do. So then we flip on over. Mercedes get a phone call, and it's from Terica. So she had to roll out. We heard the ringtone, so we know who it was for. So she run on home, and Shell is there, and Terica's sitting there crying. So Shell going off on Mercedes about, oh, the girl is 14 years old, and she had to go get an abortion. Who take her to do something like that? And Mercedes was like, you got nerves. You constantly drunk. You would have been known that something was going on with her ass. I mean, as big as little belly was and stuff, and you didn't say nothing or do nothing about it. But this is when Terica say, like, come on, Mom, let's go home. And Mercedes like, no, the hell you are? You gonna stay here with me? And Terica is like, no, I gotta go with her. But I don't know why, because Shell feel like, I don't know why Shell just holding on to her, because she already said what she said on the last episode when they was arguing. But I'm just looking at it like, is Shell just doing this because she just want to pay Mercedes back? It's like it's a payback for Mercedes sleeping with her husband and having Terica. And I said, girl, I don't get it. Child, I'll be doing everything I can to get my child out of there. I wish Shell, Jerry Curl looking wearing ass, would be holding my kid hostage from me. I took her to get her abortion. I'm her mama. So shit. So then we see Uncle Clifford rolling up in the, I want to say that's a stinking Lincoln with a blue, purple, pink looking car. And Corbin out there in the cotton field trying to get the water, I guess, to come on so that they can, wet the ground and help with everything that's growing out there. So he trying to do his part. And then they get to talking and everything, and they, obviously these two got a history, so they must have known each other from way back in the day or whatever, or grew up together, maybe went to the same school, whatever the case may be. They know each other. And so they was just talking about the Pink and Andre run for mayor and Patrice Woodbine. So Uncle Clifford mentions to him, like, the only other thing that Patrice do like is money outside of being able to be a preacher. So you need to start trying to pay her in order to make her, I guess, fall out of the race. And so Uncle Clifford come here, he always be dressed. Be having all kinds of outfits on, y'all. Okay, so we at the hotel with Whisper and Roulette, and they were waiting on Terrence to come in, and that's when he knocked on the door and come in. So it seemed like he sort of was caught off guard to see Roulette was there, and he like, oh, okay, like I ain't that kind of I never had, I guess, a threesome, but I'm down. And she like, nigga, that shit, you ain't getting none of this for free. So she was like, you only paid for one thing, and that was it. And she said, I'm not going. If you don't want me here, then you ain't gonna be able to do nothing. She ain't gonna be left here alone. So basically, and then Terrence is looking like, shit, all right. So, Roulette was like, yo, I'll go and go in the bathroom. And that's what she do. And child, we flip on back over to Andre, and he at home watching the news, and Autumn shows up with some moonshine, and then they sit around talking and everything about buying a Pink and all that stuff, and then they come up with an idea that they need to do a fundraiser. So I think either it's going to be then when something's going to pop off, or it's going to be when Maine is having his party. But something gonna pop off, y'all. We just better not lose none of our people. So then we flip on back over to the hotel, and Autumn is laying on the bed getting some head, getting some head. But I guess apparently, oh boy ain't good at what he do. So he dropped the money down right there. And then she let him know, like, you short. And then he was like, whatever. And so Roulette come out of the bathroom like, is there a problem? And she letting him know, he shorted me $200. And he like, nah, he ain't even gonna pay for it because that's all she was doing, and she wasn't doing great. And that's when she was like, I mean, yeah, I was faking that orgasm because clearly you ain't never pleased a woman in your life. She said from the time you walked in the door, she said, I felt this aura about him. And because she is so in tune, I guess, spiritually and with earth and stuff, she said that to him, and he get mad and he started choking her ass out. And I'm like, oh my God. And that's when Roulette stepped to him with a pistol to his head, and she letting him know, nigga, make one more move and I'll blow your head on. And she like, y'all got me in here playing my favorite game, which is roulette. And when you do that, it's Russian roulette. So she does have a bullet in there or whatever, and then she click it and she act like she's shooting her head so nothing went off. Then she shoot again twice on his head with the gun there, and the bullet didn't come out. And at that time, that's when she let him know, like, all right. And he like, all right. And then she tell Whisper to go over there and make him get undressed. Well, undress him. So first she was hesitant, then she started taking his clothes off and everything. And that's when she put the gun in his mouth, and she told him to what she said, to open wide or whatever, and make it look like he's sucking it. And he was like, show her how you want her to moan, how you feel she should have been moaning. And then that's when he got down on his knees, and she had the gun in his mouth while he was doing that. And that's when she told him, now who got them dick sucking lips? And then they go running out, and then he tried to run behind them. I said, oh Lord, y'all about to have a problem with this fool right here. So we see Pico, and then I guess what happens at that point? Okay, we see Pico walking out of the store and stuff, and he dapping a few people and speaking to a couple of people or whatever. And then he start walking by himself down the road, and then he get a phone call from his child, and he's telling him like, hey daddy. He asked him why you ain't sleep, and he was like, I don't want to go to sleep. And he was like, okay, love you. And then that's when somebody is like lurking in the background with a hoodie on, smoking a cigarette. And then they come into the light, and he said, baby boy. And then Lemur got this big ass gun, and they just sitting there talking. He's like, what's that shit you was talking about? And he was like, oh, that stuff about Teak. No. I know I didn't kill him. He was like, I was just saying that. And he was like, you claiming a body that wasn't yours, and you sitting around here acting like God or trying to be God. And so he tried to let him know, no, don't do it. What about my son? I have a child on the way. I got a 6-year-old child and whatever. And you know my mama. And he was like, yeah, I sure do. And he was telling them, like, you sitting up here, have you ever heard a person who was dying, choking out the mouth and gargling and trying to breathe, taking their last breath? And then that's when Lil Murder said what he said, and he shot that motherfucker like it was 20 people standing there, and he had to shoot all of them. But he shot his motherfucking ass off. I said, my God. Ooh. And then he walked away with the hoodie back on, and he put his mask up over his face. And then you could start seeing people running to the area where they heard the shots and stuff at. Oh shit, y'all. I think I messed up. I thought about it. So I guess this is the little block party they doing for Maine. So she Mercedes tried to drive through, and the guys was all blocking, so he making everybody move the car. And at this time, when he go walk up to the car, somebody started yelling about Pico had got shot up and everything. Somebody killed Pico. And so that's when she convinces him not to go with everybody or whatever. And so he doesn't. But that's why I'm like, you know what? Oh God, I'm scared now, y'all, because they done killed Pico. I guess Pico is a part of their crew, and so now they're gonna come for a little murder. Oh my God, I'm so scared. I'm scared, y'all. I'm scared. Okay, so let's see. And so they sitting in Mercedes' place and stuff, and she let them know about what happened in the Paradise Room. And, you know, she letting them know without letting them know that she was the one that killed Montavious. And she asked him, will that pain, hurt, and bad dreams ever go away? And he told her no, it don't. So then we scoot on over to the cemetery, and you can see Uncle Clifford sitting there talking to his mom and everything. And I remember those days. My father passed away, and Vernon, who was my fiance, passed away the same year, a few months from each other. And it was just so heartbreaking. And I used to drive at night and go up to the cemetery because they actually wasn't too far from each other. And I would always go by my dad first and sit and talk for a minute. Then I would go to Vern. And I used to sit there and just talk. I mean, just to be there. And sometimes I didn't even say nothing, just sit there and cry. Death is very hard. So, okay, now we get on over to Pastor Woodbine. And then she over there, they in there just a praying. She giving a sermon online because there's nobody in the pulpit except for, I guess, her right hand man over there. And so she let, what did she say? Oh God, something about those crackers. What did that woman say? Well, anyways, y'all, Patrice Woodbine up in there doing what she do and talking crazy like she always do. And she said, I got it. She said, why I forgive those crackers? I said, this woman knows she a hot mess. So somebody donated. We see that somebody gave $10K to her as an offering. And then she was like, who is that? And then the person had left a message saying outside the money came from, outside the money. So I was like, Lord. So then she walked outside, and then we can see Corbin, and Corbin walking up to her, and he asking her to drop out of the race, and he give her a big stack of money. So I don't know how that's going to work out. Do y'all think that Woodbine she going to stop running so that she can make this money? Because he was like, it's more than that. It's more to come, I guess, if you do right. So then we go on and we flip on over to like a chop shop. So you see all these different cars and stuff, and you can see people moving stuff. Maybe it's a car fixing place, but I don't know. I think it's a chop shop. So they breaking down cars and selling parts or whatever. And so Roulette pull in with the dude Terrence's car and asks him, can he do a bust down? So he was like, okay, who car is this? They gonna come looking for her? And she was like, nah. And then that's when he looked it up and saw that it was Terrence's car. And so he was like, well, when you want the bust down to be dropped off or something? And she like, whenever you get to it. And they in there kissing and everything. So I'm thinking Roulette gonna have her some, I'm about to call the nigga Rusty. She gonna have her some Duffy. And then we see her as she walk out to the side, and she have her gun that she had that night, and she opened it up so you could see the chambers, and there was one bullet still in there. So I'm like, ooh, Lord. They was sitting there playing this game. Somebody could have easily get shot up. Okay, and from that, y'all, we see little Murdah inside. He light up a I think it was a cigarette or a joint, and he's in the studio, and he go to put some headphones on, but he can look at his hand and see blood, which is Pico's blood. Once he shot him and stuff, you can see it on his hands and everything. And he put the headphones on, and he told him, let the beat drop, man. And then that's that. So I'm like, little Murdah, you got something coming for you, baby. It's some stuff that's getting ready to happen. So what y'all think? I feel like something big and major getting ready to happen. Lord, I don't know. Just don't kill off Murdah, Cliff, or Grandmother Ernestine. They're my favorites, so please don't kill them people. I think I want to keep Patrice still there too, just for some damn humor. But I think something gonna go down. We just gotta wait and see. Alright, y'all, I'm about to get out. Sorry, I sounded monotone and bored this time around, but I am tired. And I just wanted to get this done, get it out. But I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.